Yeah, thank you very much for joining us once again. We are here to bring to you on the continuation of the report that we report today concerning that the zoo Nigerian government have. And this time around, we have a new information. This information is coming from Enugu State. Enugu State. Enugu State. And this time around, there was already video that was going viral concerning this very report. A lady made a broadcast showing the place where these terrorists landed. You know, so say now. But before we go ahead, I want to first of all play this very video that we're talking about.
But I'm trying to, hey, you know, in my life, I never zoom. Okay, always zoom. I know for her. There are many. If they, I believe you. Because African, Enugu State. Oh, good, never to in a woman now. Enugu State. Please, you push be careful, especially people that is in the camp. Jamboree, Zion, everybody should be careful. Helicopter just be now since morning. Now drop on Ludenu Weber, drop about some people. You mofting. How you mofting? Na Jamboree.
Did you hear that? You hear that? Some people you mufti were dropped. Some people you mufti were dropped. And the information that we gave in the morning, we told you that these people on a mufti, you know what I'm saying now, but the military uniform of the Nigerian terrorists called ABIAMA have already been shared to them in order for them to march from Enugu State to Abia State. You also say now, possibility of to eliminate the Biafrans and also to have a ground in order to kill Kanu. Let's continue before I bring up the new update that we have today or this afternoon.
Camp, Enugu State, Zion, everybody should be careful. Share my video, everybody should be careful. Everybody should be careful. These people are many. Do you know all that drop had they wasted time for coming out? If you can look at it, you see people there is there.
She said that when they dropped them, they wasted a lot of time before coming out. They waited a lot of time before coming out. And the message that I'm getting right now, let me just get to that very update before we come back to this very video, because this video have already been going viral. A lot of people have already seen it. A lot of people have not seen it. You know what I'm saying now? But if you follow the program that we did this morning concerning the report that we have, it was this very video that somebody commented on the comment section that a lady already made a video concerning this very report I'm giving out. You know what I'm saying now? But before we go to this very video, let me come to the report. And this very report is coming this afternoon. This afternoon was coming, you understand? But I have to prepare it in order to bring it out because I can't bring out the person's voice because of security reason. Now, this is a new information on ground from Enugu State. And the message said, they have started the killings of the Biafrans in Enugu State at Obi and Eziago. And they came out from Eziago Forest. You know what I'm saying now? He said this afternoon, they have already started killing people, killing the Biafrans this afternoon in Enugu State. That all the social media must carry this very news across the Biafraland. He said that right now, they are with military uniform, shooting sporadically on anything that they set their eyes on in Enugu State. And you remember, when we made the report that we made, we said that on the 13th day of October 2022, in Enugu State, helicopter dropped some Fulani terrorists at Enugu State. That was 2 days ago, which is on the 13th. And according to my source, that they are a lot of them sent, came from Mali. A lot of them that was dropped in Enugu State came from Mali. that today being the 15th day of October 2022, that those Fulani terrorists are going to come out, and march to Lord Anta, Abia State. And I believe that it was when they were coming out, I believe that it was when they were coming out that this lady saw them and began to do what? To make a different broadcast. Because she said that they were in that forest for a very long time before they came out. We are going to listen to that very video. You understand now? But to follow up on what is going on. So if you're not aware of what is going on, you should know what is going on. And you press the share button. Let it get to the people in Biafraland. You understand now? Let it get to the people in Biafraland. Now, he said that because that these people, they felt that Mazi Kanu will come back home in Umuahia. And for that reason, they want to first of all gain a ground. And gaining that ground that they are pursuing is by killing anything that they see in Biafra land. Anything that they get their eyes on, they kill it till they match their destination. You understand now? Until they match their destination. Now, I furthermore say that our men on ground and ESN must be very, very strong on ground and must move to action from Enugu State down to Umuahia. They must finish them before they strike. I believe that Simon Eba already said. I believe that Madam Mazuka already done this message. You understand now? I believe that everything is set. I believe that this message have already gone viral. I believe that our men already take action. I believe that the guerrilla warfare has already been activated. I believe that anybody that be tracked are already put in place. You understand that? I'm just a messenger. I am just a messenger. And because of the situation that we are right now, I cannot be able to be playing people's voice notes. I cannot be able to be playing people's voice notes because of security reason. And the furthermore, I say that our advantage is that these visitors, they don't know our area. But what you should know is this, that longer that they are in Biafraland, and anybody in Biafraland is an indigenous person of Biafra, automatically, you understand now? Automatically, those people, anything they see, they are going to kill. Anything they see, they are going to kill. Anything that they see, they are going to kill because they are in Biafra land. And this is the instruction that they give to them. Before we continue, let me play this very video from the beginning. And I hope that my voice is coming out clear.
Hey, in my life, I never zoom. Okay, always zoom. There are many. If they how believe you? Because Africa, India, Enugu State. Oh, good, never to in a woman now. Enugu State, please, you push be careful, especially people that is in the camp. Jamboree, Zion, everybody should be careful. Helicopter just be now hurry since morning. Now drop about some people. You mofting. How you mofting? Na Jamboree camp, Enugu State, Zion, everybody should be careful. Share my video. Everybody should be careful. Everybody should be careful. This man, many. You guys drop her. They will say time before coming out. If you can look at it, you will see people there is there. How believe you? There are many here. Jamboree camp, Enugu State. Enugu State. Everybody should be careful. Enugu. Ninja believe. Halinne. Hey.
About 100.
Chineke me. Yeah, how believe you? And they took time before coming out. Helicopter was moving here. The helicopter was moving. Helicopter was moving like how the much. Look at the hill. Look at the hill. The hill, we saw that this helicopter has been moving since. Look at where we are. Helicopter and move since morning. Please, government, you should come to our rescue. Please. Everybody should share this news. Share it, please. Bikono. This is not funny. People should save soul. Government, you should hear us out. Enugu State, Biko, Governor Ugwuanyi, we are calling on you people. There are many.
Governor Ugwuanyi cannot do anything. These are the people that send them. You know what I'm saying now? These are the people that send them. They cannot do anything. They can't do anything in order to save the situation. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying now? As we saw the hill, before we continue the video, because I think it's about maybe 3 minutes or thereabout. Before we continue the video, you can see the hill. You can see the hill that we're talking about. This very hill, look at it. This hill that they're talking about, I believe that it was the same forest that the report that came in said Eziago Forest. And these killings by these Fulani terrorists in military uniform from Owi and Eziago this afternoon. I believe that it was this same forest. Is that Eziago forest that we're talking about, that this lady is talking about on social media? You know what I'm saying now? I believe it was. And one thing our people have to know, that whenever you are given this report, some people will say that it is a fake information. Some people are not going to act. Anybody that know what he or she can do, they will not do it. Some will do, some will not do, because it is not affecting them directly. Maybe as it is happening right now in Enugu, the people of Abia State will not do anything. They have to wait till it gets to Abia State. I'm talking about generally, I'm not just talking about a single, no, I'm talking about generally, because it is not happening in Anambra State. And for that reason, anybody that sees this very program, for example, to make it go viral, the person will not do it because it is not happening in Anambra State. That is a divide. That is the system that the Fulani and the British have already put us together in order for us to be thinking this way. Selfishness. And because it's not happening in a state, maybe somebody from a state will not share the very program. You understand? More especially those from Nigerians. More especially those so-called obedient. They will not do anything until it started happening in their state. Then you begin to see them, they will begin to meet. Say government. Government will not do anything. They cannot do anything in order to save this, because they are the people that send these people. They want each and every one of you to be elected so that they can be able to have their free of their Nigerian space. That is why it is very, very important. It is very, very important, according to what this report said, that every social media must carry this very news across the entire Biafraland. Those who are not aware of this very message or this very news, or the people who are not seeing this very short video that this lady made, you know something, to have the ability and also understanding that this is exactly what is happening today. And the very reason of this massive deployment of Fulani from Mali, majority of them from Mali, and other countries on the other part of African country that we don't know about. But the very information that we have was in Mali, from Mali. The very reason why is to make sure that Mazi Kanu, as we're expecting him to be released to us on the 19th day of this very month, 2022, so that they can be able to eliminate him. Because each and every one of them are very scared of what is going on. Each and every one of them are afraid for Biafra not to come. Each and every one of them are, even including those that we think or we are fighting for. You understand now? Those who were fighting for in those days, each and every one of them are now fighting against us. Soludo is an example. When we was making agitation for Biafra, that Biafra is an ideology, A lot of people believe in him and pushed him. Saw the struggle, pushing to become the governor of Anambra State, thinking that we're using Biafra to make agitation at that time. That he is still, but we know that longer that you are in Nigeria, longer you are great under this 1999 constitution, which the Fulani refused to do what? To restructure. There is nothing that will make you in order to do what? To give out the best. It doesn't matter how much education you have. It doesn't matter how educated you have. It does not matter. As long as this Nigeria remains as one, there is no way, I am telling you, there is no way that you can have a viable country. So our people must take this very news very serious. We must take this news very, very serious. And this news is what is happening today. Our people are dying right now as we speak. Our people are being killed right now as we speak in Biafraland, in Enugu State. And from Enugu State, they are going to march down to Abia State. You understand that? From Enugu State, they are going to march down to Abia State. Now, part of those things that we're talking about, or those news that we're talking about, that the people that you think that you are fighting for. I'll just take example of the case of the person that won the governorship election in Enugu State, in Imo State, and later replaced him with somebody who took number 4. There is a vital information, a document that is woven around with the coat of arms of the Zoo Nigerian government, came from that same person. You understand that? It came from that person. Let me bring it out so that you can be able to see that those who are agitating or thinking that they want to have a favor from the Nigerian government, they cannot. We must focus on what we are doing in order to make sure that we get our freedom. Look at it here. Let me show you. You see this? Look at this. By the time we read this finish and the end of it, you are going to see the person that wrote it. You are going to see the person. Oh, it's already here. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can see this very one with the green color. I don't know if you can see it. Now, it says, Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha Kon, former Deputy Speaker, Arunta Mbutu Abo Mbise, Local Government, Imo State, Nigeria. Date 14th day of October 2022, which was yesterday. Say, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, this is a letter. This is a letter written to the Attorney General of the Federation. Who is that person? Malami. The same Malami and the cabal who stood at judgment rule in the favor of the Biafrans and Mazi. Now, you will now see where these things are coming in. So when we begin to say that the elimination of these politicians is overdue, you begin to understand. You begin to understand. Unless he come out and deny it. Because as long as we are concerned, he is the one that wrote it. Unless he will come out and make a broadcast, make an official report concerning this very article. But as long as we saw it this way, he is the one that did it. Because as long as you are in Nigeria, you are nothing but a Nigerian. You know what I'm saying now? It is not our duty to do investigation, to debunk such a thing. As long as it's coming up, and as long as I know that he is the person, he is the right person that we knew in Imo State that won the governorship election in 2019. But because the maneuver of the federal government with their judiciary, they have to first of all remove Chief Justice of Nigeria to replace somebody in order to rule on the favor of Hope Uzodimma, who took number 4 in 2019 election. Removing Governor Emeka Ihedioha who won the people's choice, and took the first position. Now look at what he is writing to the federal government of the damnable Zoological Republic of Nigeria, Attorney General of the Federation, Minister of Justice in Abuja, on the 14th of October 2022. And he said, this is the reference, release of Mazi Kanu and negative implication for 2023 election in the Southeast. This is a man that each and every one of us put hands together in order to fight to make sure that he retained his mandate in Imo State. Like I say, it is not our duty to debunk this very message. It is not our duty. It is not our duty to do investigation. It is not our duty. You understand now? Our duty is to protect our own. Our duty is to do what? To protect our own, do investigation. If anybody wants to turn our own, we come out and do what? Protect that very person. I take, for example, the exposition that I made concerning the tweet that they created against Mazi and Chike Dozem. I'm saying now, this very tweet, the same article, the same write-up, the same date, the same time, the same month, the same year. And you can also see, even I just noticed right now, when you look at the Twitter, the write-up of the Twitter, after the date, after the time, which is 2049, 3rd of April 2016, you will see Twitter for iPhone. Look at the write-up of the Twitter. TWEETER. Instead of this is what I just discovered now. Twitter, is it not T, the correct spelling of Twitter, is it not TWITTER? But what we saw here is TWEETER. 35 retweets, 15 quote tweets, and 215. The same thing goes with the one of Simon Ekpa. Let me remove it so that you can see it very well. The same thing, instead of Twitter, but Twitter. You know what I'm saying now? So, what am I saying this, or why am I bringing this as a reference concerning Governor Emeka Ihedioha? The reason why I'm bringing it out, it is not our responsibility to do investigation to debunk this very news that we saw. It is not our duty. It is the work of his media personnel to do the investigation and for him to come out and debunk it. Because Biafra is a spirit. At this very sensitive moment, anything that you do, be it a politician, we are going to hold you accountable, add up with the one that you've already done. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying now. So that is why I say it is not our responsibility to do what? To come out, begin to debunk this, but to report it. Now, he said, may I refer to the judgment of the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja, which October 2022. News in the media credited to your office, in which you clarify conflicting issues from the said judgment to the effect that the judgment merely discharged Nnamdi Kanu from the charges against him, but did not acquit him. Therefore, the implication of your position, which I align with, in the interest of 2023 election and the security of the Southeast, is that other options available to the federal government are on the table for prompt action. In my view, and humbly so, I suggest a quick move by the federal government to continue his detention, apply for stay of execution of the judgment of the court of appeal, and file an appeal at the Supreme Court. This will enable his continued detention legal and will reasonably guarantee peace and security in the Southeast towards the 2023 election. Your position on other issues predating Kanu's rendition on the basis of which Kanu's John Bell, which remained valid issue for judicial determination. Within the time of his incarceration, there has been a relative peace in the Southeast, and the region has embraced a democratic purpose. Regardless the situation at hand, following the discharge of his charges, we only seek to sabotage the goodwill of upcoming election. I am convinced that the position of the Court of Appeal will be condemned for the people of the Southeast, and it's not healthy for our democracy. What part of democracy are they talking about? When somebody was asking and still asking for the right to decide where he wants to belong to, is that not part of democracy that we are supposed to be enjoying in the zoo Nigeria? It's a question. How you can imagine? Or is it part of the democracy that this democracy, when these very ones suit the elite, the politicians, then they call it a democracy? But when the people are demanding for their self-determination, it is not a democracy. It becomes a war. That is why some quotas say that calling for referendum is not a call for war. So what are they talking about? Rather, what they are doing is to bring the military into our land. Not just like this video and this report that we saw. Each and every one of them are very much aware of it. And now I go back to the question that I asked before in the morning, saying that those of you who are sabotaging this struggle in Biafraland, in diaspora, communicating with these people. Let me use example this lady, Nkechonye Buchi, the IPOB women leader in Anambra State. Did they call her to tell her about this? Of course not. Neither did they call people like a Sunday OKIKE to inform him about this very plan. Of course not. They will not call him. Sunday OKIKE and the Nkechi Onyebuchi. I'm asking you, did Soludo call you about this plan to eliminate Mazi and Kanu? Because maybe because that you have seen that a lot of exposition have been going on, and then you see that the people of the IPOB autopilot are determined in order to make sure that Biafra is restored, and Mazi and Kanu see the light of the day, and also enjoy the benefit of what you have suffered. Then maybe somehow you begin to have a kind of rethink mind. Begin to dance in the other side, that the politicians are not going to trust you. Just like I said some time ago, that a time will come that this politician will not trust you again. And this is part of it. That is what I'm asking. Did Soludo inform you, those of you working with Soludo to sabotage what we are doing, did they inform you that they are planning to kill Mazi and Kanu? Those of you in Enugu State, I'm asking you again, did Ugwuanyi, did he inform each and every one of you about this very plan? Or before they deployed their terrorists on the 13th day of October 2022 to march from Enugu State down to Abia State, killing Biafrans? Did they inform you? Of course not. They will not inform you. They will not inform you. The one that they're planning right now in Imo State, did your governor, your Supreme Court governor of Imo State, did he inform you that they are planning to come and kill our people? Of course not. I'm asking. I am asking. What about the past and the present one? Are they telling you people say that this is exactly what is happening? Of course not. They will not. They will not. They will not. So let us go back to the very news concerning Emeka Ihedioha. He talked about democracy. He talked about democracy. Now, going forward, look at it, the other news. He said his notoriety on Nigerian election, which is not favorable for the people of the Southeast, is a serious concern. What is coming out from Emeka Ihedioha? The people that each and every one of us in 2019 were shouting that the people of Imo State should come out and protest against Hope Uzodinma. Mazi Kanu on Radio BIAFRA saying it. This is part of the crime that Mazi Kanu committed against them, for telling the people the truth, to stand up for their right, to stand up for that democracy that these politicians is fighting for, because he had to do to protect the interest of Nigeria. He said that as an Igbo leader, it will be great disservice to my people if I don't speak up to protect the integrity of our goodwill towards democracy leadership. I am the strong position that upholding the decision of the Court of Appeal will cause serious consequences of insecurity as evidence in other countries of the world, where political prisoners were instrument of the chaos and violent riots. In view of the above, may I therefore solicit to the federal government, the Federal Attorney General, and the Minister for Justice to exploit the appropriate legal option to ensure the safety of democracy in the Southeast. Yours truly, and with the signature, Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, CONKSE. From Emeka Ihedioha. So, if they claim that this is not from Emeka Ihedioha, what would they do? Of course, to come out and do what? And debunk it. It is not our job. But as long as I'm concerned, it is their doing. It is their doing, not my own. My own is to report every evil atrocity that I come across, to make sure that I feed people the good news that they deserve, and to also know that the only way that we can have our freedom is by working together as a people and demand for our freedom once and for all, so that each and every one of us can be healthy and hold our future, our children, and children to come. We'll be happy to say that, yes, indeed, our great fathers have already fought for our freedom. That is the reason why that anything that is coming up, just like this very news that we saw today, reported that they have already started killing, we need to take it very seriously, because that is the only way that we can be able to do our own job here in the media, and people on the ground can also do their job. People on the ground can also do their job. I still remember aka Afro-Cronkite, the second disciple of Mazi Kanu. Shalom.
But I'm trying to say, hey, you know, even a life I never zoom. Okay, always zoom. I know for her. There are many. If they how believe you? Because Africa, Enugu State. Oh, good, never to in a woman now. Enugu State, please be push, be careful, especially people that is in the camp. Jamboree, Zion, everybody should be careful. Helicopter just be now Harry since morning. Now drop on Ludenu Weber, drop about some people. You mofting. How you mofting? Na Jamboree camp, Enugu State, Zion, everybody should be careful. Share my video. Everybody should be careful. Everybody should be careful. These people are many. Do you know all that drop had they wasted time before coming out? If you can look at it, you will see people there is there. How believable? There are many here. Jamboli in Camp Enugu State. Enugu State. Everybody should be careful. Enugu. Nendia believe halinne. Ndalinne. Hi.
About 100.
Chineke me. Yeah, how believable. And they took time before coming out. Helicopter was moving here. The helicopter was moving. Helicopter was moving like how the much. You know, look at the hill. Look at the hill. Look at the hill. The hill whereby you know. We saw that this helicopter have been moving. Look at where we are. Helicopter and they move since morning. Please, government, you should come to our rescue. You should come to our rescue, please. Everybody should share this news. Share it, please. Bikono. This is not funny. Because people should save soul. Government, you should hear us out. Enugu State, Biko, Governor, we are calling on you people. This helicopter was moving around since morning on our Bahari, since morning today. Give na phone, kita. Give na phone. Since morning, helicopter no na Bahari here. I next not Cholida. I not helicopter Cholida. Everything. I went drop a hand and the white helicopter and they were wearing almost not even a military zoom. How you your Moftin? Please, people should share Enugu State. Indian State, yeah, because Nico come. Nifami, because you should share this thing, because you should save a life. Because you should save a life. Like, what do you now? That was negative. I am a very good.
Combineer je energie, internet en sim-only gewoon bij één partij. Budget thuis, alles onder één dak.
2022 is the year to define and complete the Nigerian revolution that we started in 2018. There's always a time that we do not have to move with the waves, a time not to swim with the tides or dance with currents. A time to make decisions that will determine the moments to come. Time to decide how long the system will keep running. Time that decides how long a slave will be a slave. It's also decide when the oppressed will throw their chains into oblivion forever. We have been on the side of the history for the larger part of our political life. We have spoken when many others have been shut up. We have been standing when millions have been cowed and kept down on their knees. The system really wants us to be divided along ethnic, religious, and such other sentiments, other political, social, and economic, that there's no unity of the oppressed. But we are here to say that an end has come to the Nigerian oppression as we know it, and as we have always fought it. But this is a decisive year, the new year of 2022. This is why the regime of President Muhammadu Buhari could not take care of his own people, even though they use ethnicity as a way of garnering support and blindfolding their own people. Before him, as you guys are aware, there was a Goodluck Jonathan who could not resolve the Niger Delta crisis. He could not construct a bridge to the southeastern part of the country, what is now known as the Second Niger Bridge. Before Goodluck Jonathan, there was an Olusegun Obasanjo who was the president of Nigeria, who had no positive impact on his own part of the country. And this is what they've always been. There are a set of rogues, set of fascist leaders who have held Nigeria to ransom up until today. In 2021, there was a consolidation of this impending revolution that we're talking about. And those of you who have followed us, and 2021 in particular, can tell, categorically that we had a refreshing year. It was a year that we decided that the very wicked acts of massacre of NSAS protesters did not, get away unchallenged. It was a year that we started with a crossover night vigil that landed me and some of my colleagues in detention for 11 days. That led me with a broken nose that you're seeing today permanently on my face. This vigil was done nationally, and it was done with such act of bravery that crystallized with strategic battles between the oppressed and the rulers of Nigeria. The comrades of our people, our comrades, turned the entire year to a revolutionary engagement. And this engagement transpired across the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. And it led not only our leaders in a defensive state, but it actually led to the destruction of what used to be the myth of the dictatorship in Nigeria. You have heard about the occupied Lekki toll gates, mass actions. You heard about not bleeding mass action that we ended the year with, and it showed to us that our oppressors who have used divisive actions failed completely, because we were able to fight from the south to the north, from the east to the west. And sometimes people tell us protests don't work. Some of them support rallies or boycott, but they keep saying the strategies of the oppressed is the most important thing. The oppressor should not tell you how to fight back, and they should not brainwash you by saying that protests don't work, because protests actually do work. If they don't work, the oppressors in Nigeria will not be so scared of even 5-man protests whenever they're about to happen. But we have been able to show to them, our comrades all across the country and the world have presented themselves out of the realities and the trajectories of our struggle. Many in the light of the Biafran struggle, the Yoruba national struggle, agree with the fact that there is a battle intervention, while most of us still believe at these junctures the electoral intervention might help Nigeria. If the methods of agitation do not quicken the revolution from below, we will all stand defeated. So to fight for self-determination, we must be ready for a major revolt. This is why the Biafran struggle had more political impact during and after NSAS protests than before, because there was a national revolt that empowered the struggle in the southeast. The Yoruba national agitation also was renewed after NSAS. But in all, the persecution and the trials of the self-determination struggles and the leaders like Sunday Igboho, Mazi, Kanu, the rulers' fear of NSAS movement and more, it was why we were shocked when the North, when the North's bleeding protests broke out. Yet, they never see anything. Youths in the North have risen, and all over is needed, all energy is needed in cementing our comrades all over the North to synchronize with those in the South. And we must say here that those who are saying that people in the North should be allowed to die simply because they did not participate in one struggle or the other should understand that our destinies are tied together. And you have seen it already. We have always said it. That it's a matter of time before these groups come together. That is the group from the South, from the North, from the self-determination groups, from the religiously persecuted groups. All these people are going together one day. And we are here as leader of revolution declared already in Nigeria to take this battle to the front lines and to the doorsteps of the oppressors of our people across Nigeria. The past 2 decades have twice shown that the oppressing against oppression is very effective when everybody's hands or all hands are on board. Some of us have spent the last 3 decades of our lives fighting for a prosperous and democratic Nigeria. One major lesson that I learned as one of the fighters in all these major battles is that the oppressed people are really angry, but they do not have solidarity sometimes, and they do not have clarity to unite and go to battle together. This is why we have been here all the time, speaking to people who are going in different directions from time to time, that even while we believe that it is their right to fight whichever way they want, we must have the clarity that until the oppressed come together, united, not playing into the hands of the oppressor who divide us with different strategies, we are not going to win these battles very easily. So, as you have seen with Revolution Now, with Take It Back movement, and our political party, the African Action Congress, we are usually the quickest to enter into unconditional solidarity when our people are oppressed in IPOP. We are the quickest to enter into unconditional solidarity when the Yoruba Nation agitators are arrested or they are extrajudicially murdered. The quickest, without looking back, to solidarize with Shiites and ensure that their leaders are not killed, oppressed, or even their members are not extrajudicially murdered as the government would like to do. We have also further exposed to the world that there's no genuine person, interest, or group that is safe under tyranny. We must be standing with all oppressed people as our unity further divide and bastardize our oppressors. So there's an income issue of fuel hike, for instance, and many are already preparing to resist. We must all start now to prepare against the Buhari regime over their determination or decision to increase the fuel prices across the country, because this is going to sound a death knell on our people. If allowed to increase the prices of petroleum products, which they claim they are subsidizing, you have nothing left in this country. There will be nothing left to eat, there will be nothing left to breathe. So be prepared. Be prepared. We as revolutionaries, we will not be caught unawares. You can trust us on that. But we must deepen our solidarity with the working class so we can have the capacity and the audacity to take on the labor bureaucracy as at when it's needed. When you talk about labor bureaucracy in Nigeria, we can tell you categorically that the Nigerian Labour Congress is almost an appendage of the Nigerian government. So you cannot trust them. So we must have our own independent way of resistance so that when they come in and they try to sell us out, we will not cave in. We will continue the struggle. And we must stand with ASU and social patriotic unions that want a better Nigeria and demand for better welfare for all. And these struggles will show to the so-called rulers that we are never interested in what will not bring about a social welfare for the people of Nigeria, and not the one that has always fueled the big budgets that you see. That is the social welfare for the privileged. We must never allow any further increment in fuel prices. We are saying it here categorically today. We are making a declaration that if they increase fuel prices, they have dared us, and we will resist with all the energy in our arsenal. And when we say this, they understand what we are saying. Well, let me also quickly address the issue of our party and the need to radically engage elections in 2023. A lot of people have been asking, and I'm sure those of you who are watching and commenting know this. A lot of people have been asking, what are you guys doing next? When are you going to declare for the presidency? Well, let us maintain that we must engage in all spaces, and this has been our position, that will truly change Nigeria. The elections present a time to fight. But the Nigerian electoral process is full of illusions. So the battles over direct, for instance, the battle over direct and indirect primaries is some stupid argument that is premised on how the rulers in the two or the major political parties rig their internal primaries. In this place, the independence of political parties is being trampled upon by the new electoral bill on doing interventions in party primaries. It should not be the duty of the electoral bill to determine how parties elect their leaders. That's the duty of the political parties. But you know the reason why they are interested in that distraction is that they do not want you to focus on the most important aspect of the electoral act, which is ensuring that all the activities that are engaged in our elections should be done electronically. If, for instance, you go to India, elections of over 1 billion people are held within 5 to 6 hours, you get the results. How is it that Nigeria cannot produce results of the election in a state as small as Anambra within such a short period of time? These are the things that we want people to understand. It's the reason why you have not seen us engage with this whole electoral bill issue, because we understand that the rulers of Nigeria are in cahoots with the so-called Independent National Electoral Commission, which is now completely populated by people nominated by the ruling party, the APC, the All Progressive Congress, or as people like to call them, All Promises Council, or All Past Criminals Congress. So we have not engaged in this argument because we know that it's subterfuge, it's diversionary. So we must then keep calling on all the oppressed people in Nigeria to join the revolutionary party of the day, which is the African Action Congress. And through a movement known as the Take It Back movement, which you are all aware of, we need all of you to come together and start battling these spineless, cowardly rogue leaders in Nigeria. That we can show as the people of Nigeria that we are the owners of Nigeria. So I therefore call on many of our friends and comrades who are yet to be committed to the party to start building now. We need to start as early as possible and we do not have resources and the capacity that some of these criminal rulers have in their arsenal. But let me tell you something. You know how we did it in 2018, how with little resources and donations from all our people, we were able to fight very strongly and disgrace and demystify several of these money bags within our political system. So we have a world to win, but don't let us deceive ourselves. We are not going to win in 2023 by waiting for the elections to happen on the terms of our own oppressors. We must do it by ensuring that we introduce revolutionary politics to Nigeria. We must ensure that we challenge every aspect of the fraud that has become part and parcel of the political system. And we are here on the ground to make sure this happens in 2022. While millions of our people are happy and partying, let us all know that the heavy borrowing that the Buhari regime is engaging in is so that so many of our children and children's children, generations to come, will not be able to solve the Nigerian debt crisis. In fact, if we are not careful, by the time Buhari leaves power, which we will ensure happens as soon as possible, Nigeria would have been mortgaged to either China, the IMF, or the World Bank. There will not be a country called Nigeria again. We would have owed so many of these rogue loan sharks that we may not have a country we can call our own. So let all eyes be open while the New Year's celebrations are going on. And I can guarantee you that the New Year's will be the celebration will be very, very short this year. We're not making a prediction. It is because poverty is about to become very endemic. The value of the naira is gone, the so-called minimum wage, and we are at the mercy of one of the most corrupt governments in the history of this country. And apart from being corrupt, this is one of the most dishonest regimes that we've ever had in the country called Nigeria. I mean, I've never found a regime that is not dishonest, but this one has taken it to a higher notch. So don't let us deceive you that our struggle as it is, and as we've always explained to you, is beyond the shores of Nigeria. We have a war to win on the continent of Africa, and we have a war to win beyond the continent of Africa. Like the same song of Bob Marley with about Zimbabwe, you know, where he says, "Arms in arms, with arms we will win." That is one of the most popular tracks that Bob Marley ever sang. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you again into the New Year's. And what I've tried to do in the last few minutes before now is to give you a holistic understanding of where we are going in 2022. And we would like to hear from all of you interactively regarding what you think, and if you have any questions, comments, let's try and make it short and interact here on this platform and ensure that we get ourselves very ready for the task ahead in 2022 and beyond. So many of you like to ask about 2023, and you know our paramount answer. How do we get to 2023 without getting past 2021 solidly and getting past 2022 where we are now, and ensuring that the people who are making it a duty to ensure that you don't survive beyond this period are defeated before then. Thank you so much for listening, and I will take further questions going forward. Thank you so much for listening and watching our broadcast now. Yes, Dr. Chidi, you are there. Thank you so much for taking that quick broadcast, and we can now go ahead. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. President. That was a very insightful run of the year 2021 in review, and a quick direction of what we are going to be seeing in the coming year 2020, in the year that we already entered, because we're already there, 2022. One thing you said is that the New Year celebration is going to be short-lived, because government is waiting corner, and it's never been this bad. Okay. One quick question that we have out there already. Somebody said, what about the rogue? I don't know how it was. I said the rogue and the thief, Ezema, and AAC party. Somebody wants to know about the party and what Ezema was trying to do with the party. I'm going to take a call now, but go ahead and answer the question.
We do not have any problem with the control of our party, and whomever the state is using, they realize that those characters can no longer hold us down. So by later this year, I think some conclusions will be made regarding the court case that we had established. But already these characters are falling apart from what we learned